Mommy, I'm scared.
So, Michael Collins, you've got a lot of explaining to do. So, I just finished Verum, Malum, and it was fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Considering it's a short story, he packed a punch. He kept a great pace. The characters were so well developed that I actually felt like they were real characters, like real people. He developed the story well. He created like this kind of Scooby-Doo-esque kind of metal band called Emaciated Angel. It literally did feel like the Scooby Gang does satanic rituals for me, so I was loving that. And the gore, the action, the violence was spot on. It takes a whole new direction with satanic rituals. Didn't expect it. It's not all about Satan. It's this whole different dimension. So this dimension is just pain and torture, and you get to basically go on a Dante Inferno style spiritual walk with Noah and Marius, who is a racist piece of shit, who you will love to hate because he is a dickhead. And I was grateful to see when he would die. Anyway, so if I could pretty much sum this story... Oh, okay, right. So, Drag Me to Hell meets Hellraiser with, like I said, aspects of almost a spirit walk, Dante Inferno kind of journey towards the end. Now, I have just told you, I fell in love with Noah and Ben. I also love Jagge. Jagge's an amazing character. I'm very much rooting for Jagge throughout the story as well. Then, Mick does the really horrible thing, where I now need fucking ice cream and chocolate. Because you made me love these characters, you made me care about these characters, and then you go and do that fucking shit at the end. I'm not giving it away. You guys are going to have to read it, because you'll be as pissed as me. Because if you got as emotionally invested in this story as I did, you get really fucking annoyed. Because you're like, I kind of want a happy Noah and Ben, and all the world is lovely, and they get to go off into the sunset, but... yeah, Mr. Collins has other ideas, and I demand a sequel. I demand a sequel, dude. This was fucking brilliant. I demand a sequel. Okay, boys and girls. Let's talk about this bad boy. Oh, yeah. If you are anything like me, and you love a good story with well-developed characters and an intense atmosphere, this is the book for you. Mark did an amazing job with this. So we follow the events of the Dolge, which is an event where rain suddenly goes all gunky. As to be expected, when something like this happens, humanity goes one of two ways. They either go and loving, supporting, protect everybody kind of person, or you get a-holes like Bodie in this book, who decides that he's going to start his own little cult, like the lady from The Mist, which, by the way, I really enjoyed that reference. It was in page 66. I fucking love this book. The way that he sets it out is fantastic. The characters and how they develop through the story is fantastic. I loved the way that he built the suspense and built the story up the closer we got to 3:15. Because it starts early in the morning, you get to meet the characters, you get to grow a bond to the characters, you get to really like the characters. And all shit hits the fan when this happens. And oh my god, he does an incredible job. But even by page 14, I'm already in love with Tony as a character. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. So I become pretty overprotective. Then I like Pam, then I don't like Pam. Then you meet some of these other really cool characters, like Helen and Eugene, who are just, honestly, like the roller coaster of emotions that Mark manages to squeeze into this book is insane. Now, I remember one of the quotes, it actually states here that it has like a Clive Barker, Stephen King feel. Now, massive Clive Barker fan. I had to see if it was true. Honest to God, Mark, you earned every merit of my review because you did an absolutely incredible job. And that twist at the end, you evil bugger, that twist at the end broke me. Like, he had me on an emotional roller coaster that I didn't want to get off. And I absolutely think you guys should join me on this journey, because you will not regret when it... So today, we are taking a trip down to bonny old Scotland, to DELEVAN House, where Natasha and Ruth are both sitting there, and they're writing this beautiful piece of, doesn't drag you in kicking and screaming, no. It's coming in. Isn't it beautiful? Look at these beautiful prose. Look at these stunning descriptions of this magical place. Come in. Come on in. Coming in. You're safe. You're totally safe. You're not going to get completely destroyed by the lady of the house. No. False sense of security completed and achieved. This is a beautifully written, almost kind of gothic folk horror, and it is so, it's just got Crimson Peak vibes right from the very get-go, and I loved it, because it's like, look at that, it's so beautiful and stunning, and then you get to the village. Now, I found out that I can't pronounce it, so please forgive me, girls, Bada, the village, actually means crow in Irish, which really surprised me, because I was like, okay. That's the reason why. Those very sneaky ladies, very, very sneaky. You're fluttering in these massive little bits of research. If you do your homework, you learn some bits and pieces. I love you girls, but I can't pronounce that. I tried, failed miserably, but I'll give it a go anyway. It's Quiver. We follow her story from the get-go, from her birth all the way through to the end. We follow some very saucy scenes, which, by the way, damn girl, whoever wrote those scenes, I bet you both collaborated on it, don't lie to me, but fuck me, I was there like, Jesus man, I need a grant. This is an insanely good story. It's addictive, it's enticing, and it's just got all levels of, it's just absolutely stunningly done. And I enjoyed every single moment of it. It was 200 pages. I wolfed it up in 2 days. That's how much I loved it. I have not come across anything folk horror that I've kind of connected to the way I did this one, but oh my days. Ruth, Natasha, take a bow, ladies. You did an amazing job. And I think you guys need to go visit DELEVAN. Like, now. Let's take a moment to talk about Tim Eagle, shall we? And his release 35, which is Ungodless. 38 pages. You think, this could be interesting, especially when you read the synopsis. Alyssa is... Okay, so you will always, guaranteed, have met this kind of woman who has grown up being the adult. Like, her, in the case of Edmund, the dad, she ends up being his caretaker due to alcohol. So you think, after everything she's gone through with her dad and how she's been raised and how she's had to bring herself up, she'd get a break. Nope, date's a monster. And I mean a true monster. He doesn't skimp on the details. Tim really does a good job at keeping you going with the story. Build up, build up, build up, and then he sneaks in the supernatural spookiness, adding a little bit of extra bits. So the town has their own urban legend, which she was brought up with, and he was brought up with, because ironically they live in the same town, which tends to happen actually. And they get this camera, old school camera, and he makes her drive cross country to the only place who can develop these damn pictures for this old school camera. And even then, he is an abusive shit to her. So I'm just sitting there, oh, please, justice, please get some justice for her. Tim doesn't disappoint with the justice part, oh no. It's like this thing is tormenting the abusive guy. Just enough to mess with his head. And then when things start to go really bad, that's when it gets really, really interesting. And for a short story, it packs a punch. More of a horror with the real life aspects, with the supernatural urban legend laced nicely around it. So it keeps you guessing. What could it be? What could it be? And I love a mystery. I love when horror adds mystery to the story, and there's the you never know kind of situation with the monster. That's why I like Mama, because the big reveal at the end, anything where the monster is like a mystery. And Tim does a really good job at adding atmosphere to a 38-page story. Well done, my friend.